Hey guys, I'm here with the amazing Miss Angela White-Smith.
Thank you.
She is a Chicago native, but you are a Minnesota transplant?
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
That's true.
but you have deep roots here in the Bluff.
Deep roots in the Bluff.
And now you're back,
yes.
making it beautiful one home at a time.
Oh, you know, it's what I do.
It's what you do.
It's what I do. Yeah, so we're in my latest renovation project.
Yeah.
I name all of my houses. This house is named for my great-grandmother, Leola, who was just fabulous. And one of her favorite sayings was, "Ain't nothing for a stepper."
Right.
So you had the pleasure or displeasure of seeing this house when I first bought it.
Man, it was toe up in the floor.
I mean, it's hard to even get people to understand how much of a nothing this was, how so many people would have considered this a tear down. And so I didn't see it that way. I saw the big, beautiful ceilings. I saw the potential. I saw the good bones. And I bought it immediately, put a new roof on it because we had to stop the leaks. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't start renovating right away because I had some other projects before it.
Yeah.
But
So this is what, your third?
yep, this is my third flip. If we count mine, it's 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I did my one house.
So you're just a serial flipper at this
Yes, this is what I do now. And it's funny, I didn't come to the Bluff to do this.
Yeah.
I just was thinking, oh, I'm gonna go there and retire. And because I flipped homes in the past in Minnesota, I had that experience already. And to me, Pine Bluff is prime for renovations. There are young people like you who want and need a family home. And I tell people all the time, Pine Bluff people are just as amazing as anyone else. All this, rhetoric is BS, right? And so they watch the same HGTV I do.
Yeah.
So as a realtor, when I take some of my buyers out to look at houses, they're not updated and they're disappointed. And so there's no reason that we cannot have quality, up-to-date, renovated houses here. And there are people doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they just got the touch. I don't know. I just have
No one
vision
can
for
do it
this.
the way you can do it.
Right. And they're doing it their own way.
Right,
And there's 300 houses.
Oh yeah,
here.
we need all the
We
work
need all the renovators we can get. And so like I tell people all the time, my goal, my passion in life is to renovate every house in Pine Bluff. And I mean that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
That's amazing.
Yes. So this one made me cry though.
Yeah.
1 or 2 days. I was like, oh no, Lord Jesus, why do I do this to myself?
You cried because it was so beautiful or because it was so much work?
I think it was so much work. I had a budget, which I knew was just more like an outline.
Right.
I knew the fact that we had to do a new roof, new HVAC, new plumbing, new electrical, new flooring, new light. I mean, new everything.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's really interesting when you flip a house, a lot of times people are like, oh, I want new construction. I want a brand new house. I'm like, this is brand new.
Yeah.
The best thing is it's old wood. Like this is real wood. This kind of wood, they call it old growth wood, which is solid. You're not going to get that in a new house. So actually when you have a house that's been totally gutted and renovated, and this is my true first gut renovation.
Really? Okay.
I've done some where, I expanded some rooms or something like that. But this was studs. This was rearranged. This was
It had
everything.
to be. I mean, it was like when I saw it, I think windows were broken.
Yes.
I mean, it looked a hot mess.
It was like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
I mean, it was what do you call it? A horror movie. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And so all we needed to do was charge admission. Dang, we should have did that first. It's not gonna raise some money. Dang, why did I think of that?
And so I want to get into, of course, you're doing your thing.
Yes.
And no one can do it the way you do it.
That's true.
But I want to get into the incentive to flip houses in Pine Bluff, as well as like the impact that you're having by doing this.
Yeah, so first off, I absolutely see this as a place where if you want to flip houses, there's the inventory here, there's the need. Because there are people of all ages, not just young people, of all ages who want a home to live in. So I think the difference is, again, when we talk about the shows that people watch, oh, I made $100,000 flipping a house, I made $50,000. You're not gonna make that here.
Yeah.
But your income is going to be consistent. So maybe you make $20,000 or $30,000 on each house, but if you do 4 or 5 houses a year, that's a decent income, and it's going to replace what you could have made in corporate America.
Right.
And so that's how I look at this. Like, I've been able to replace my corporate America salary doing real estate and doing flips. And I have a marketing agency as well. And so I'm living my dream. And I think, like I said, I fell into this. That's not what I came here to do. But now that I've started, nothing's going to stop me. Like nothing.
I know that's right.
This is just what I want. And I have had arguments or strong conversations with, my team, some friends, who don't get it. I'm like, that's okay, do you, boo? I'm not worried.
It's really hard to convince people of the potential in Pine Bluff. So you just have to show them.
Yeah, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
And then they'll come in like, oh my God, I didn't see this, or wow, or whatever.
It's like, I told you.
And I'm like, duh, this is what I'm saying. Watch me work.
I'm not doing it for nothing.
I'm not, and I have the vision too. I think the only way I can describe it to people is when I see a house that's in disrepair, I walk into it and I imagine this paintbrush. And so when that paintbrush is going in my mind, I saw this kitchen like this. Yeah. And I haven't been able to yet articulate my vision properly. Yeah. Because even the guys who work on this, my contractor, my ride or die, my contractor is my boo. He don't know it. We in a relationship. He don't know it, but we are. But he walk in, he be like, I don't know about this one, Angela. I don't know. And I'm like, come on, man, I got, this. And so then, like, when he came here the other day, he was like, this house is so nice. Yeah. I mean, he helped me get to this point.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. But it's possible. And I love what I love about renovations here, especially, it shows hope for possibility. Yeah. That you can take something that people would discard. Right. That people would think, it's nothing. And you can turn this into some place someone would desire and want to live in. Right. And that's like powerful. The story of Pine Bluff as a whole. Like so many people, that's why I love you. Yes. So many people, for their own reasons, are like, I can't do it. I'm going. Write me off. Go ahead and watch me work. Right. That's how I feel. Right. Every day, seriously. I'm like, you go ahead. You go ahead and move to Dallas. Right. You go ahead and move to LA or some of these other places, and you go not be able to buy a house. And when you get ready and you want to have a home that you're proud of, have jobs, because there's plenty of jobs here. That's a misnomer that it's not. Jobs of all kinds here. And here you have the money for your home. You have the money for your car. You got the money to pay back some student loans. Hello. You got got the money to travel because you stay gone. I stay gone. You don't even ever be in Pine Bluff. I mean, I'm here. Well, come on now, that's not true. But but when something come up, I'm on the move. How many concerts have you been to? I do concerts. Beyonce, Anita. Everybody got their things. I see she be watching my page. She's stalking me. I'm inspired. No, she's stalking me. She's stalking me. But no, I love that. I can get up and go when I want. Right. And that's something that I'm 41 and a half because I'm like a little kid. I like to, I'm not 41, I'm 51 and a half. Goodness gracious. But, that half is important. Right. Because the older you get, you got to count them days. But I do have a great amount of flexibility that I didn't know that I would have at this age. And it's not that it's easy. It's not that I have so much in the bank, but I have a path to make revenue and money. And so it definitely feels good. Yeah. It really does. And I can't wait to see who's going to buy this house because they're going to be my neighbor. Yeah. This house is right across the street from me. And so let's get into the impact that you flip in these houses. Number one, you are a homeowner. Yes. So you flipping these houses brings up the value of the surrounding properties. Correct. But in addition to that, maybe the taxes benefit the local school that's right down the street. So I'm sure you can elaborate more on that. Absolutely. No, you're doing a great job. And so one of the reasons, this house, Leola's kind of my charitable contribution. I can't lie. So I've owned my home for 9 years. I can't believe that, but this year makes 9 years. And I drive past this house all the time. I was driving past it all the time. Everybody does. If you've been to Pine Bluff, you've driven past this house. On Olive Street. It's a main thoroughfare. Yeah. And so you either have a choice. You can talk about it, you can complain, or you can be about it. And I've always been a person to be about it. Right. So I contacted the person who owned this probably 4 years ago. And I'm from Chicago. I'm slick. I got that mouth. I don't care. I like my mouth. And so I'm like, what you doing with this house? Oh, I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna do nothing. I saw when you bought this house, it looked the same, if not worse, since the day you bought it. So let me tell you what happened, boo. You went to the tax auction. You was like, ooh, I'm about to buy this house. You bought a house. You thought you was about to be a real estate developer. And then you got somebody in here with some knowledge. And they told you how much it was really going to cost to do this house. And then you was sitting at home by yourself, you know, crying in the tub because you don't know how to do it. And he basically was just cold faced. They're like, yeah, because I know. And I gave him an offer. Oh, you know, I put this much in. I said, dude, it don't matter how much you put in this house. Whatever you did, I can't tell.
I mean. And
I'm going to have to do it over. So I walked away from him. You know, I left him sitting there, you know, his ego wounded because, you know, it's fun. I like to mess with people, especially when I can read them. That's the best. So I want him to see this video so bad. Can we send it to him? The after of what I did. That's my shoulder off. So anyway, a couple years went by again. I'm just tired of looking at it. I drive past this house every day.
Yeah.
I keep my yard up. I'm planting flowers. Yeah, my flowers die because I ain't really going to water. If it don't rain, I feel sorry for them. When I bring them home from the store, I'm like, look, I'm sorry I bought you. You going to survive out here in the wild or you ain't.
Right. It's up to you.
It's up to you. You got to be strong. I'm going to throw a little dirt on you, a little seed. But anyway, and so last year, late 2022, I contacted him again. I was like, look, I'll give you $5,000. That's all you get.
$5,000.
Yeah.
And how many square foot is this house? So
this house is almost 2,400 square feet. If you include the front porch, it's 25.
And so even with the $140,000 that you put into this, $145,000 for 20, how many?
2,500 square feet.
Now I know that you're selling it for a little bit more than that,
yes,
but not,
I gotta cover my.
It's not much more.
Yeah,
than that,
this
though.
one isn't the one that I was like, oh yeah, this gonna plan my vacation to Paris.
Right.
This one's not gonna do that. This was honestly in the real estate industry we call setting a comp.
Okay.
So a comp is comp is short for comparable.
Okay.
So it is a price that other realtors use to sell their house. So like there was a gentleman who owns a house across the street, a couple doors down. He said, oh yeah, I see you out there working on the house. Thank you. You raising my property value.
Right.
I'm like, dude, write me a check. Like, don't pat me on the back. Give me a check. And he was kind of like, oh, because, you know, wherever I go, there I am. And so, but at the same time, this is a cautionary tale. And I like to tell this story. So when you become a homeowner, and you will, because we working on it. Oh, yeah. You come home, and you and your husband, you all leave a car. It's in the driveway. You come home, and your car's in your neighbor's parking lot. Or in the driveway. What you going to do? You can call the police. Yeah. That person stole from you.
Right.
So when you live in an area, if the neighbors are not taking care of their homes, they are stealing value from your house. It's that plain and simple. So we in the Black community, we have this thing about not snitching. We don't want to snitch.
Right.
We need to learn how to call zoning, code enforcement and stuff because people are stealing from you.
Yeah.
And so what that means is if you were to put your house on the market and you live by people who are not taking care of their property, the value is going down because no one wants to buy that house, right? But if we band together, help each other, we increase our wealth.
Right.
So this literally is increasing everyone's wealth in this 2-block area.
Amen.
Right?
That's amazing.
Because I did that.
Right.
And it's not, I mean, I'm not going to ever sell my house.
Right.
I plan to die in my house unless Michael Jordan finally comes to his senses and marries me, because you know you should have. I'm going to be here. But he's the only one who would get me out of here. Nobody else. I'm saying that and I mean it. But other than that, if I have to take out a home equity loan, if I want to do any things, now I have a comp to say, no, the houses in this area are worth this.
Yeah.
So this house is on the market for $169,222. 222 is because Leola's birthday was February 22nd.
Okay.
So I had to put her in the price a little bit. Let's say it sells for 165. So that means the value of a house in this area has the potential to sell for 165.
Wow.
So my neighbor next door who's working on his house, if he sells it, he can draw from that. That's how you create change in a neighborhood. Right. So it is important for people who are from here or have a vision and they want to be a part of groundbreaking and doing something. I'm telling you, this is the place to do it.
Yeah.
The fact that they're about to build a new high school, which is 2 blocks from here.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a new school, it's going to increase property value.
Wow.
So that also helps.
Yeah.
So this house is a little nugget. It's a steal. I love it.
Yeah.
I love my house. I can't renovate and live in all the houses. But it's a different vibe.
The ceilings.
Yeah, it's the ceilings. My house is kind of moody, kind of sexy, you know. I wonder why. But this one is it's such a family place. It's such a place to gather. I can see the kids at the island eating breakfast.
In the family room.
Yes, in a family room. You know, you see them, you know, cooking dinner and having them do their homework.
Yeah.
And so I want that. I hope that.
And you're really changing the narrative too. Like, I'm telling you, you might not know where this house is by watching this live, but if you have driven in Pine Bluff, you have probably driven past this house. Yeah. And it didn't look like it does now.
No,
it looked a hot mess.
And it hasn't for over 20 years. So the contractor,
and that's so sad.
The contractor that I work with, this is the thing that got me. It's like pulled at my heartstrings, seriously. We walked through this house and he said, Angela, I've been in this house before. Actually, I think I've been here a couple times. He said, you are the only person who I know who has what it takes to finish this house. That got me, because this is what he does every day, right? He's managing 10, 20 houses at a time. And so he knows what it takes. So he's worked with me enough. We've done probably 4 or 5 projects together. We've done enough that he's like, I know who she is. I know what she's bringing to the table. I know her resources. I know her vision. I know how she's managing it. So yes, did I spend a lot of money, but someone who didn't have the expertise or the vision or know how to do it, they could have spent $250,000 doing this, because they wouldn't have known, not the shortcuts, but how to make a bargain work.
Right.
The hood vent, for example, that's reclaimed wood from the attic.
Wow.
But it becomes a statement, and it's free.
It looks so good.
Exactly.
It fits.
It was free. So when I was explaining to them what I wanted, they were like, I was like, just do what I say. And they did it one way, and I was like, that's not what I meant. Right. You got to do it again. Right. But when it was finished, even my subs, the contractor, she's like, oh my God, that's really nice.
So, Miss Whitesmith, you are, I say, successful.
Okay.
Don't you have a master's degree?
I do. I have an MBA in business. Yes, I do.
You worked for Target.
I worked for Target,
and a few
US Bank, Discover Card, T-Mobile. I've worked for a lot of places. So just that girl, that woman. A little bit.
And, you know, I aspire to have some of the same accomplishments.
And you are building it right now.
Thank you so much. Your thing. But something that I feel like I run into sometimes is, we could say this because we look the same, Yes. Sometimes those of us who are aspiring for more feel like we have to leave our community behind to do it. And everybody has the right to feel and think what they want to feel and think. You know, some people have valid experiences that have traumatized them. But what would you say, to be honest, that's my target audience, because I grew up in a town that didn't look like Pine Bluff. So I know the thought process is, nah, you know what I'm saying? And so what would you say to reach those people? Because we need that income back in Pine Bluff.
So that's an interesting question, because the way we grew up is so different. So I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago, which black, right? But it was very middle class. So I saw the moms, the dads, I had my own room, I had a car, I had all those things, right? And so to me, black people have always equaled achievement, right? But now that I'm older and you meet more people, you understand that not everyone had access to those same kind of black people, right? So I get that. So to me, there are people who grew up with me who feel like I'm living down. Or my friends,
just by being in Pine Bluff.
Why you always in the hood? Why your house? Because to me, it is important that those kids who drive and walk past that high school, to go to Pine Bluff High, they see me mowing my grass. Sometimes in the morning, I'm like, hey, how you doing? They get out of school. I've seen a couple of them ditching. I'm like, what you doing? It's important.
Absolutely.
They need to see this. People are like, oh, you better be. They're kids. I should be able to say hi. So I think it is beyond important that successful people who want to be successful, who strive, whatever the word is, that you feel comfortable living your dream in our neighborhood.
Right.
I think people are watching. This house has showed me how much people are watching me that I didn't know were watching me, which is a little creepy, because I'm private and I'm kind of like, why you all up in my business? But this house has shown me how, because people have been like, hey, you that lady that's working on that house on Wall Street? And I'm like, what you do for a living? I'm like, I am. I got to get used to that.
Right.
But I also let them talk. Do you know what I mean? Good or bad or indifferent. It doesn't matter to me, because you and I know I'm already under contract on the next house, right? So this is not stopping.
Period.
Right. So they can say I'm crazy. And you know what? God, I hope I get my money back on this house, right? That's the goal. I never want to lose. But if I lose on this one, in the retail industry, there's a term called a loss leader. And so sometimes Walmart, Target, whomever, they're going to put the milk on sale for $1.99, even though it costs them $2.50. because they know you're gonna go buy other things.
Okay.
So if this is the one that I have to sell at my cost or whatever, just to continue to build up and do other things, I'm okay with that. Right. And I knew that before I bought this house and started to renovate. I was like, yeah, this could be my loss leader, but that's okay, because the next one that I do is just gonna build on that. Yeah. And I've been fortunate to have done okay on the other ones.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any closing words? Wow.
She's speechless.
I really
They don't know. We gotta make sure they see the before. I mean, so that they can understand.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a transformation.
Words don't even do this justice.
It doesn't. I mean, I've walked in here and been like, this is the same house. But I've also been fortunate to see the process. But it's been, I mean, the ceilings were open in every room. It was amazing. So
for sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying, come to Pine Bluff. Let's do this. I will help anyone. I don't, they say about telling your secrets or whatever. I'm not like that, because again, I can tell you what I'm doing, but you can't duplicate me.
Right.
So if someone else, they could have done this house, it would have looked differently. Exactly. It might have been beautiful. Right. But I had a vision for it, and I knew how I wanted it to look, and I'm very pleased with the product. Right. I really am.
I am so happy for you, proud of you,
thank you.
Please keep doing what you're doing.
Girl, done. You ain't got to tell me that. Done. It's a wrap.